Hello, and welcome back to our mental health series here at Living Waters Lutheran Church in Crystal Lake, Illinois. We are so thankful you're able to join us. If this is your first time, or if we have 4 seasons now, so many times. And, over the seasons, one topic that has come up over and over again is trauma. And so we thought when we were mapping out this 4th season of the mental health series, what if we did a whole month's episode on trauma? And so we brought in Gary Rukin, who is a counselor and trauma-informed coordinator. Gary works with the Mental Health Board, and you might see him around in other places. It seems like I run into Gary in a lot of places, actually, when it comes to mental health in our county. So, again, as always, with these presentations, if you have questions, if you need resources, someone to talk to, referrals, please let us know. We can do it confidentially. We can get information from Gary from this presentation. People are here to help. Gary's one of those people. He will be presenting to us the presentation, Seeking Safety in an Unsafe World, Taking Care of Ourselves During Traumatic Times. A very relevant topic, I believe, indeed. So, as always, this series is on demand. It's online. It's designed to be safe and confidential. If you need to pause, if you need to take time, this can be a heavier topic, please do. And again, we are always here for you with whatever resources, conversation, or safe space that you need. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Gary.
Seeking Safety in an Unsafe World, Taking Care of Ourselves During Traumatic Times. When someone experiences trauma, their brain changes, affecting emotions, thoughts, and physical health. Chronic stress is another type of trauma, and it's common these days to often feel stressed out. Here's what happens in the brain during trauma or chronic stress. Our amygdala becomes activated and releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, preparing our bodies to fight or flee or freeze. The sympathetic nervous system kicks in, raises your heart and breathing rate, heightens alertness, and tenses your muscles. The hippocampus, which helps with memory, makes it hard to distinguish between the past and the present. The prefrontal cortex, which helps with decision-making and controlling emotions, becomes less active and makes it harder for you to think clearly and manage your emotions. Long-term exposure to trauma or chronic stress causes problems with learning, memory, and emotional regulation. These changes can have lasting effects on mental health, affecting how we handle future stress, process emotions, and control our behavior. The effects of trauma or chronic stress are heightened fear and anxiety, emotional distress and panic, hypervigilance and paranoia, sleep disturbances like nightmares or disrupted sleep, depression and hopelessness, even physical symptoms like headaches and stomach issues, social withdrawal and dissociation, where we become zoned out or emotionally numb. When things feel out of our control, we need to disconnect in order to reconnect with what really matters. That may mean turning off our phones, TVs, and computers and tuning into our families, friends, and even ourselves. At times we can become so stressed that we lose connection with our mind and bodies. We're all under a great deal of stress most of the time, and the media and cell phones don't help. We're expected to be on call 24/7, and sometimes we just need to turn off the chatter. If that sounds problematic, so are the long-term effects of trauma and chronic stress, including post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, decline in work and or school performance, chronic anxiety, panic disorders, depression, substance use, isolation, loneliness, and health complications. Trauma and chronic stress can even lead to an early death. There's a great deal we can do to handle our own stress and to build resilience in ourselves and our kids. Some of them are simple, and many are even fun. Perhaps there was a time when you sat around a campfire or fireplace and told stories. It turns out that stories really do matter. These stories we are born into come from our family, the media, and the culture in which we grew up. As these vary, so do our versions of reality. Our families shape our stories, and those stories help create who we are. When parents tell detailed stories with their kids, it helps the kids understand themselves better. An elaborative storyteller adds rich details and vivid descriptions to make stories more engaging. Allowing children to choose what to talk about in those stories gives them a sense of control. Kids whose parents tell detailed stories have advantages in reading, memory, understanding others, managing emotions, and a self-concept. Plus, it's fun. Stories that include growth and redemption help you and your kids understand yourselves and the world better and find meaning in tough times. Do you think you're good at multitasking? The truth is that multitasking reduces efficiency, impairs memory and learning, increases stress and fatigue, lowers work quality, and the truth is that very few of us can multitask well. So what is the antidote for multitasking to the point of distraction? It's mindfulness. You've probably heard of it. Mindfulness is being aware of the present moment. It's focusing on right now, without distractions or judgment. It's not easy, but if you try it, I think you'll discover that it's worth it. Mindfulness involves observing thoughts, emotions, and sensations without labeling them as good or bad. Mindfulness requires a conscious effort to bring our attention back to the present when our mind wanders, and our minds frequently wander. It also encourages accepting experiences as they are, rather than trying to change or resist them. So why be mindful? Well, it turns out that mindfulness reduces stress, improves focus, and enhances emotional regulation. It's a win-win. So let's start now. This is an exercise called Leaves on a Stream that can help you to notice your thoughts and accept them as they are. So take a moment. Please sit in a comfortable position and either close your eyes or rest them gently on a fixed spot in the room. And now visualize yourself sitting beside a gentle flowing stream with leaves floating along the surface of the water. For the next few minutes, please take each thought that enters your mind and simply place it on a leaf, letting it float by. And you will do this with each thought, pleasurable, painful, or neutral. Even if you have joyous or enthusiastic thoughts, just please place them on a leaf and let them float by. And if your thoughts momentarily stop, continue to watch the stream. Sooner or later, your thoughts will start up again. Allow the stream to flow at its own pace. Don't try to speed it up or rush your thoughts along. You're not trying to rush the leaves along or get rid of your thoughts. You're just allowing them to come and go at their own pace. And if your mind says this is dumb, I'm bored, or I'm not doing this right, please place those thoughts on leaves as well and let them pass. And if a leaf gets stuck, just allow it to hang around until it's ready to float by. If the thought comes up again, watch it float by another time. If a difficult or painful feeling arises, simply acknowledge it. Say to yourself, I notice myself having a feeling of boredom or impatience or frustration. And you can place those thoughts on leaves, allowing them to float along. From time to time, your thoughts may hook you and distract you from being fully present in this exercise. This is normal. As soon as you realize that you have become sidetracked, gently bring your attention back to the visualization exercise. And now, open your eyes and come back into the room. I hope that was good for you. Self-care is important because you matter. Self-care is essential for mental, emotional, and physical well-being. It reduces stress, boosts energy, and enhances resilience. Prioritizing self-care helps you show up as your best self. Some self-care activities include healthy eating, exercise, and getting a good night's sleep. Self-care is staying hydrated, taking time to reflect on your own needs and goals, and also relaxing and having fun. Taking a bubble bath with candles is self-care. Being creative, whether that's singing, dancing, painting, doing crafts, or listening to or playing music is self-care. Spending time in nature and setting good boundaries are both self-care. Another form of self-care is something called self-compassion. Self-compassion, a concept rooted in Buddhist philosophy and embraced by psychology, is the practice of treating oneself with the same kindness, care, and understanding one would offer a dear friend facing hardship. It recognizes that suffering, imperfection, and even failure are all aspects of the human experience and responds to these with gentleness rather than harsh self-criticism. So why is self-compassion important? In a world that emphasizes achievement and perfection, we can be our own harshest critics. This can lead to anxiety, depression, and a diminished sense of well-being. Self-compassion acts as a buffer, fostering resilience and emotional stability. It acknowledges our pain without becoming overwhelmed by it. Basic techniques for cultivating self-compassion involve recognizing moments of suffering, understanding that these experiences are part of the shared human condition, meaning we all feel them, and then responding with kindness. So first, let's talk about taking a self-compassion break. I'm guessing it will help you get through the hard times in life. When you notice that you're struggling, you can take a moment to acknowledge your pain. You can simply tell yourself, this is a moment of suffering. And then remind yourself that suffering is a part of life. You might say something like, suffering, feeling inadequate, and even failing are common experiences that we all have at times. And then offer yourself some kind words, like, may I be kind to myself in this moment. Another approach is to write yourself a letter, one that you might receive from a compassionate friend, offering yourself understanding, encouragement, and acceptance. We all need to be seen, heard, and valued, especially by ourselves. If you should notice that your thoughts are full of self-criticism, pay attention to those thoughts and gently challenge them. Would you talk to a friend in the same way? If not, perhaps you could change the way that you speak to yourself. There are some physical or somatic exercises you can do as well. You can try a soothing touch, where you place your hands on your heart, stomach, or any other part of your body that feels comforting. Feel the warmth and gentle pressure of your touch, and you might also try mindful breathing by practicing deep, slow breaths, focusing on the rise and fall of your stomach as you breathe in and out, visualizing your breath as a soothing wave of kindness. You might also try a body scan, where you pay attention to each section of your body, from head to toe, while noticing any areas of tension or discomfort, and then offering those areas gentle kindness and acceptance. You may be amazed at the results. Another technique is to try a loving kindness meditation. You can find recordings of these on YouTube and other places on the internet if you simply search for loving kindness meditation. A simple method is to sit comfortably and recall a person you care for who also cares for you. This can be anyone, living or past, or even a special pet. And then bringing yourself to mind, repeat the following phrases to yourself in their voice. May you be safe. May you be peaceful. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Self-care isn't selfish. It's a fundamental requirement for human beings, like me and you. We're living through tough times, and it's important to take care of ourselves. Trauma and chronic stress can affect our mental and physical health, while practicing self-care and self-compassion can help us to cope. Mindfulness, healthy habits, and being kind to ourselves are essential for resilience and well-being. And please remember, self-care isn't selfish. It's necessary for getting through difficult experiences, finding meaning in them, and being our best selves. Isn't that what we all want? Thank you very, very much for watching.
Thank you so much, Gary, for your presentation. I know I feel much calmer now after viewing that, and I hope you others who are watching feel that way too. So thank you, Gary. And I have to say that last thing Gary said, that Self-care is not selfish. So important. Trauma, healing, the day-to-day stresses. Life is stressful right now for so many, right? Self-care is so important. So I'm thank you, Gary, for lifting up a great place to end our time together. Our mental health series will continue in its fourth season. We have presenters lined up for May and June. Usually we take summer off, but we already have, demand was so high that we already have someone for June and possibly July. We'll see. So look at our socials, Facebook, Instagram. It's usually the second Monday. You know, life sometimes might be a different day, but it is every month that we will have the series. And all the episodes, as always, are available on our YouTube page. There's a playlist for both this season and for all 4 seasons. And as always, if you have questions, if you need referrals, you need someone to talk to, you want resources, please reach out. You can message us confidentially. If you don't want to be confidential, you can comment on this post. We are here to help connect you with the help that you need. So, as people of faith, we are going to close, as we always do, with a word of prayer. Please join me. Holy God, this world is unfortunately broken, and there is a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, a lot of wounds that necessarily aren't always visible to the eye, including our mental health. We ask, God, that you, as the ultimate physician, are a God of healing and new life and love and grace and hope. We know that you show us ways through counselors, through mental health resources to get the help we need. Please let trauma be no different. Please guide us in getting the help we need, and we give thanks for people like Gary who are able to be those lifelines that so many of us need in times that are traumatic, including times like these. In your name we pray. Amen. Have a good one.